Hey everybody, so I got this Whirlpool fridge. It seemed to stop making ice, so I'm going to show you how to diagnose that. Okay, so first thing I always do is I have a digital thermometer. I always check to make sure. See, this one's sitting at 12.8. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it has to be below 15 degrees Fahrenheit in here for the Icemaker to actually run. The next thing you want to make sure is that this arm is down, because it can sit in that position. When it's in that position, it's not going to run the Icemaker. So make sure that is down. The Icemaker fingers should be sitting there just about level with this side. They'll be up a hair. That's where it does its fill. So if your Icemaker is not making ice, I will show you how I diagnose it. So you want to pull off this cap, which is usually a kind of pain, but you're going to need a digital, well, it doesn't have to be digital, just a multimeter to test this. Digital's a lot easier to use. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is test for power. So we got our meter set up to volts AC. We're going to stick one in the N and one in the L. So we should have 120 or thereabouts voltage. So if we have that, we're good to go. Okay, so now that we know we have that 120 volts, what we can do next is force the Icemaker to actually run through a cycle. So we're going to make sure this arm is down. We're going to put this little lead into the T and the H. So make sure you have a good connection in there, and that will run. The fingers and everything are moving back here, so that's good. The motor's turning, so we know the motor's good on this unit. But what we can check is that the water valve is going to engage. So when this little blue mark, sometimes it's different on even the same Icemaker, but you can pull out this little jumper we got here, because it doesn't need to be in there. So about there, we can pull that out, set that aside, and just wait for this Icemaker to go around. Okay, so anywhere about now is when that Icemaker should be filling up. You should hear the water valve actuate. There isn't a water valve on this one. I just threw this Icemaker into this one just to show you guys how this works. But yeah, you should hear that activate, and it will fill the Icemaker. If this all runs and it fills and everything, there is usually a problem with the heater, and I'll show you how to test that on the bench when I take this out. But yeah, you'll still usually have to replace the whole Icemaker. Sometimes you can buy individual parts, but yeah, that's pretty much how we test them. Okay, so if you want a easier way to test your water valve, you can put one lead into N and the other into V. Have your meter on volts AC. When it comes around to somewhere over here, this should jump to 100. So we got 120 volts there. So this is when the water valve should be actuated. Okay, so we get the ice maker out of the way. We're going to test for power at the actual wiring, just to see, because we didn't have any at the module head. So we're going to put one connector into green and one into the black, and we are getting 120 volts here. So if we're getting 120 volts here, but not at the ice maker head between L and N, we know that the problem is between this connector right here and the head. So we can check for resistances through this wire and stuff. The wires, I've never seen them bad, so I don't think we have to worry about that too much. The problem's going to be in the actual head. Most ice makers, you have to buy the whole ice maker in order to replace that head. Some of them you can just buy the head, which is module head. But yeah, that's how I would diagnose my ice maker. Okay, so there's another check we can do now that the ice maker is out, and that is between the test points L and H. So we have it set to ohms. So we should have somewhere between 70 and 75, somewhere in there. Probably pretty close to 72 is where it wants to be. So as long as we have that 72, 73 ohms, we are good. Okay, so if you're going to replace your ice maker, you'll get a new one. This is obviously the old one, but you'll get a new one. It's like this, and I'll show you how to install it. Okay, so first thing you want to do is actually unplug your fridge. So I'm going to do that actually right now. Okay, so the fridge is unplugged. So what we're going to do is connect our electrical. It should click together. These plugs are fairly tight usually, but yeah. So in the back here, you'll notice there's a little cutout here, right there. You want this little chute here to go into that hole. That is where the water will come through. The wiring on this is a little not like it's supposed to be because it's an older fridge and it didn't have an ice maker installed in it. So line up that chute with that hole, and then you're just going to hook the ice maker onto these screws that I've just kind of set in there. I find it easier to set them on there, but you might find it easier to put the ice maker up there and then screw in the screws. So you put those two in, and then you're going to put in this third one down below the ice maker here. And I usually just use a normal screwdriver. I'm just using a drill for the sake of speed for the video. Now what I do is make sure this arm is down. Right as soon as you plug it in, you might notice that the ice maker actually spins around. Usually they, from factory, set the arms back a little bit just so you know that it is going to run. If for some reason the arms don't run right away, you could always do your check here. We know that we have 120 volts AC coming out of that plug. So what we can do is check now that we have 120 volts AC right at the module head, which if we didn't before, we definitely should now. Okay, so we'll go into L and N, and we should have our 120 volts. If we do have our 120 volts now, the motor isn't running when we first plug it in. Now, if you wanted to, it doesn't hurt anything. You can jump the T and the H. Some fridges, if you have a door switch inside the freezer, you might have to hold it closed. It just depends. But make sure those connections are in there. You can actually see that motor run nicely. This will actually speed things up a little bit too, because usually it won't start until the freezer is a certain temperature again, but by now you've probably had the door open for a little bit. So this will at least advance it to the point where it's going to actuate the water valve. So it'll fill with water right now, which is nice because all we have to do is wait for that to freeze and kick it out. So that's how you check and test and replace your ice maker. There's a lot of other issues that can happen with these things. There's a lot of test points on these things. You can find diagrams like crazy online over which test points to actually check. This was just more of a, if your ice maker is not making ice video. So yeah, that's how you do it. See you in the next one.